what the business is. It's the man D Gray, and this is the No Cap Recap, Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 10. Episode start off with some foreshadowing of a junky ass parking lot full of random service vehicles. Shane hauling everlasting ash from an angry mob of walkers. Rick stood up in front of a shattered window, bleeding and out of breath, but we don't know why yet. Then the Bob Saget looking ass walker start chasing him. Randall got both hands tied behind his back, slithering towards a gently used knife. Motherfuckers having a rough morning. Shane tried to duck off from the walkers on that Miss Frizzle ass school bus, but unless that motherfucker really magic, that flimsy ass door ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, the violins and the intro. You see Rick and Shane riding on this country ass Green Acres highway. Rick stopped the car in the middle of Northwest nowhere and told Shane that they had to have a serious talk. He called Shane out about what really happened to Otis, and Shane confessed to it, said he did it to save Carl. Then he told Shane that he completely understood why he fucked his wife. I don't give a fuck about the circumstances, man. That shit was premeditated. He told Shane that his entanglement with Lori is over now and they better get that through his fucked up haircut and into his head or they gonna have some problems. Shane told the story of Outbreak Day, how he saved Rick and he swore that he never looked at Lori until they thought he was dead, but I do not believe that shit. They go pop the trunk, they got Randall back there gagged and tied up listening to some bullshit iTunes playlist. Maggie and Lori in the kitchen chopping season-free chicken and raw vegetables. They get to gossiping about how Glenn froze up in the shootout. Lori said it don't matter if he got stuck as long as he made it back. Then she went to go serve Beth that bland ass brunch. Rick trying to talk to Shane about how they gonna survive the winter, but all he could do is stare at the clouds and daydream about Lori. He would have cried if he was in the car by himself. Lori wanted to bring Beth her flavorless feast and asked if she wanted to go for a walk after she ate. Beth responded by pregnancy shaming Lori. Rick wanted to give Randall a fighting chance, so they pull up to the Department of Public Safety. That's the parking lot they was at before the intro. Rick sliced his own palm open and smeared the blood on the fence to use as bait for walkers. But for what though? The motherfuckers was already walking towards y'all, and even if they wasn't, all you had to do was make some noise. That shit just seemed unnecessary and dramatic. They just surveying the area, walking past empty tuna fish cans and rice-a-roni boxes. And Shane peeked that two security guards ain't have no bite marks on them, but they still turned. Beth thinking of ending her own existence, Lori told her to stay strong. Lori cleared the dishes and took them downstairs. She noticed Beth ain't touched the food. I can't say I blame her. She did keep the knife, so Lori ran back upstairs to go get it. Left Randall tied up with a knife several feet in front of him. They was about to dip on his dumb ass. Then he mentioned that he went to school with Maggie. Now it's an issue. Shane wanted to kill him right then and there, but Rick stopped him. Then they get to arguing and Shane said he don't think Rick could keep calling Lori safe. Rick ain't like that shit at all, so them motherfuckers finally get to scrapping. While they tussling, you see Randall scooting towards the knife with some contacts now. Shane was beating the Chuck E. Cheese prize tickets out of Rick ass. He even threw a whole motorcycle at him. Then Rick got the momentum and hit him with the ground and pound game. Now they both exhausted. Shane used his second wind to hurl a big ass pipe wrench at Rick, and luckily he missed, cause if that shit connected, he would have decapitated his ass. The wrench ended up breaking the window and there was like 20-30 walkers in there on lunch break. Maggie screaming on Beth for giving up on life. Randall finally freed himself and then he used the knife to overkill a walker. He stabbed that motherfucker way more times than he needed to. Andrea and Lori air hustling on Beth and Maggie argument. Andrea said that it's Beth's choice and Beth's alone, and that not everybody can grow up to have a husband, boyfriend, baby, and son like Lori do. Left Lori ass in the kitchen alone, feeling dumb and defeated. Back at the parking lot, Rick was running from the walkers and tripped and fell over absolutely nothing. He ended up at the bottom of a 3-walker dog pile. Had to shoot through one of their mouths to get the top one. Kept trying to talk Maggie into joining her on this one-way flight to the afterlife. Maggie ain't trying to take that trip and she don't want Beth to go either. Shane trapped on the bus using Rick's unnecessary blood trick to kill the walkers one by one. Andrea told Beth that it's her choice and if she was gonna do it, just go ahead and do it. That inspired Beth to break the bathroom mirror and cut her wrist with a piece of the glass. She didn't go all the way through with it though, and then she realized she wanted to live. Rick and Randall jumped in the truck and pulled off on Shane, left him on the bus looking petrified and pitiful. They spun the block to come save him though. He jumped straight out the emergency door into the back window on some Dukes of Hazzard shit. After Maggie heard what Andrea did, she told her that she better not step foot back in this motherfucking house. Rick told Shane for the 143rd time that was his family and he needed to snap out of his delusions. He put Randall back in the trunk and headed back to the farm. And then it went off.